Hey there, everyone, and welcome back to the Elder Scrolls of Guild and Coin. We're here with our 10th session. Fairly small group today, as Trashstar is currently out in Fiji on a diving trip. So, if
Not the
he,
water, Fiji.
so if he's listening in, hi.
I
But
trash.
in the meantime, we do have Julinak here today, played by
How's it going?
played by Reven. We have
Hello.
we have our enigmatic Argonian Nightblade Zodd.
Oi, hello.
We have our also enigmatic and mysterious Nisra, the vampire, played by Bob.
Greetings.
And we have our less mysterious, but still kind of crazy in his own right, High Elf Mage Amrit, as played by Brenna.
Hello.
So, last time you guys had delved into these Dwemer ruins, trying to unravel the reasons behind why two groups of cultists and a guild are working together down here, as well as kind of you had your own little side quest that had led you down here, and then of course the cultists waylaid you, and you guys were like, "Ooh, interesting shit." So where we left off, Zoe had been taken away by Zira and Ebenarm, leaving you guys and Trashstar in the ruins. Amrit. The thing we left off with was you had found a letter in the on the desk that Ferrum had going on.
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and fill everyone in, since it's so much worse. So much worse than you had expected.
Okay, so I'm just telling them everything that we talked about yesterday?
Yeah.
Okay. So this letter is from the gentleman I know, Aldris Tacona. He wrote it to Pharaoh, or whatever his name was. Ferrum. Basically saying that he is to find the Numidium and basically bring it to him, if I remember correctly. And once the Numidium prototype was found, to kill everyone involved with the dig, which includes every cultist, every person from the Mages Guild, everybody that they took any of the artifacts to in the Mages Guild in Orsinium, any of the vendors that they sold stuff to or bought stuff from. Basically, genocide.
And we're not talking, kill them and trap their souls in gems. We're talking kill them, trap their souls in gems, and then shatter the soul gems.
Yep.
Absolute death.
Yes. And this does not at all sound and I used to know.
Yeah, power corrupts. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. Sounds like he's turned into a giant prick.
Or maybe he's not in control of himself anymore.
So we should kill him.
No.
But if he's not in control, then the thing into control needs to die, yes?
Then we find out what's going on, and if we need to, then yes. But if we don't need to, then no.
But all things need to die at some point. That is
Yes,
way of
at some
war.
point.
Have you ever heard of revolving peaks?
Yes, that is death.
Nisra just sits quietly. Yes, all things must die.
You did die, then you came back.
Oh, she doesn't say anything. She just listens.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but we could resolve this a little better.
What better way to resolve things than blade and spine?
By figuring out what's going on and make it stop. He's a
Blade
good
and-
man.
Blade and spine does that very well.
I would prefer not to have someone I know killed if we don't need to have them killed.
Blade and spine doesn't always kill, just renders them unable to run away.
I'm just turning away from you and walking away. Like, I'm done with this conversation.
I would take that as victory in Zodd.
Okay.
Henry just shoves all of the papers that were on the desk, all the research papers and the letter, into his pockets.
Okay.
Zodd is going to go talk to his child now.
Oh, it's easy enough. Pierre has already skittered out of the head of the Centurion and is following along with you guys.
Yeah, no, Zodd's picking that little bastard up and hugging it.
It chitters. In your
Aw.
mind's eye, you get the impression of not being able to breathe.
Zodd is sorry. Zodd will just sit on his head while saying, we will find a way to make you Argonian, one way or another. You are true Argonian in soul and blood, just not form.
So, what would you guys like to do down here?
I wanted to grab the artifacts.
I
I'm
want
sorry?
to see if there's anything that the value of in this area.
I think you've already looted this area.
Did I?
I think so.
No, you
Then I know.
you stopped us before we got to the looting part. We stopped right at the ladder. Yeah.
Fair. Okay. Well, on the corpses of all of the cultists,
What
you'll
few who aren't footing?
Zodd is still high-fiving Pierre about that. He just is so happy.
you guys find 492 septums to split amongst yourselves.
Ooh.
In addition, you guys also find. Let me grab the die. Roll the die. You guys find 8 runestones.
Excited.
Ooh.
What can I roll on those?
Runestones, you would have to be able to identify them. So, Arcana.
I have that spell.
Well, identify, not in terms of magic identify, so much as.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just roll my Arcana int.
Yeah.
What language are the runestones written in?
You don't recognize it.
Do I recognize stones?
Oh yeah, you're familiar with enchanting.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Which one do I take with this one? The 6 or the 23?
You had advantage?
I don't know. Like that's the reason I was asking you.
You just roll once.
So I have 6. I rolled a 6. I don't know shit.
Yeah, you're not sure what it's like. You hadn't done much by way of enchanting. Most of your enchanted blades you got off of your kills.
I want to look at those.
Yeah. Would it be history or arcana?
Arcana.
Okay. That'll be a 19.
Okay. So, let me go through, grab my pencil. You have found.
Can you also put them into the text channel?
No.
Aww.
So the first rune that you look over is Jorah. The second is Notade. The third is Jajota. The fourth is Oko. The 5th is Rakepa. The 6th is Kuoko. The 7th is Kuta, which
So many
Amrit,
names.
Amrit, you would when you see Kuta, a bit of excitement actually does go through you. Kuta is one of those runes which is exceptionally rare to find.
Nice. Okay.
Ooh.
And 4, 5, 6, 7. Lastly, but not leastly, you find Parade.
I have one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Off of a couple of cultists, one of the ones that were absolutely obliterated by Pierre before they had a chance to do anything, has a potion of stamina regen.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So when you drink it, it restores stamina points equivalent to 1d6 plus your Constitution modifier.
Does either Zodd or Julinak use stamina points?
I use stamina points.
Then you should have it.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's purely Juliak, because I only have magical points.
Alright. What did I roll for again? The stamina thing? Or
Oh,
I don't have to drink it right now, right?
You don't have to
No.
drink it right now, but
Okay. Then I'm just gonna put it in my inventory.
Yeah.
Stamina.
And then here I should probably type in all of that. That was 462 gold, I think.
You said 92.
92, thank you.
492 septums, all those runes you just mentioned,
Mm-hmm.
a potion of stamina, which is, I think you said 1d6 plus 4.
Yep. No, 1d6 plus Constitution modifier.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking basic potion of healing there. And that's it so far.
Okay. And then lastly, let's see, where did I put? There we are. 7 soul gems.
What kind of soul gems?
3 lesser,
Black.
1 black, and 2 oh, why am I spacing? Goodness gracious. Oh,
Rare
petty.
Oh, okay.
3 lesser, 2 black,
No, one black.
3 lesser, 1 black, and 2 petty.
2 petty. I don't have a petty. Oh, look at that. I can direct petty.
From our previous one.
I have that list right there.
Yeah.
But we were going to split it, so we haven't split it yet. It was 2 petties?
Yep.
Okay. And are none of these filled?
None of them are filled.
Okay.
That gives you a black gem and me a black gem.
Question.
Answer?
We know where their barracks were, right? Where their sleeping quarters were?
3 petty.
Yeah, you're basically in them.
Oh, so this is what that loot is, or this is the loot from the corpses?
This is the loot from the corpses.
So I'm going to start carefully going through their personal objects with Mage Hand,
Okay.
using my also delightful Shadow Hand ability, which lets my Mage Hand do all kinds of weird shit.
Mm-hmm.
Just, case of traps.
So in a satchel, you find a
The fuck?
Sorry, I was just blowing on my hands because it's really cold in my room.
It sounded like you were
okay,
hissing.
Yeah, no, it's like, is
Sorry,
this
it
an
just-
implyment that Zodd just found a snake in a boot?
I'm sorry. It's very cold in my room.
It's
so,
all good.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, I got my AC running, so.
So as you're rummaging through one of the satchels, you find a copy of the lusty Argonian Maid. What volume do you guys already have? I know you guys have one.
I think Zoe had it.
Zoe took it with her.
Zodd's gonna just look at the book and then just like kind of pop. Wait, sleight of hand, sleight of hand, sleight of hand, sleight of hand, sleight. I need you to wait. How to reverse pickpocket items with this?
Just sleight of hand. Just sleight of hand.
Yeah, no, but I can do it with my shadow hand abilities. I was just making sure it was still a sleight of hand rolled.
None of us cares, so I don't think you really need to roll.
Oh, yeah,
He's
no,
accused of wanting that book.
I mean, you
You
can
want that
have the
book?
book, man. I don't really want it.
Okay, yeah, no, I'll just pockets the book. What volume is it?
Volume 1.
Should have made it volume 4, because then he has to spend the rest of the time collecting the first 3.
Oh, he still needs to collect the other 3.
Okay, so Zodd's going to continue searching through stuff with the Shadow Hand of Doom.
Mostly just odds and ends here and there, various provisions and such. Give me a moment and I'll pull up that list. Like, I had made a bunch of charts. Because I'm a nerd.
I'm just happy you're not using the random. I'm just happy you're not using the random item roll table from 5e.
Oh no. Oh, there they are. Right in front of my face. Or at least 1/3 of them. 1/3's good enough. Oh, a whole bunch of character sheets. Blank character sheets I didn't realize I had. Okay, here we are.
This is why you organize everything on the internet.
Well, I like having physical copies of stuff. I just need to... Like, I have it all within arm's reach, but I have 2 different stacks for Elder Scrolls stuff. I just need to consolidate and collate them. Okay, so what I would like you to do is roll a 6 and then roll a d4 and tell me what the results are on each.
Okay, so d6 and a d4. The d6 is 5. The d4 is 2.
You find a small pumpkin in one of the bags.
What?
A pumpkin.
Does it look like a normal pumpkin?
Yeah, it's like a little sugar cooking pumpkin.
No, it's a cultist pumpkin.
No, it's a Spookaween pumpkin. It's a Spookaween pumpkin.
I don't trust this.
They weren't cultists. They were just dressed up as cultists, and they were celebrating Halloween. And we just killed them.
I'm gonna have Pierre sniff it and see what Pierre thinks about this.
He gets excited because it smells like a pumpkin, and one of his all-time favorite foods is pumpkin.
Zodd will split it with Pierre.
Aww.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
You also find a little bit of preserved beef.
That's being added to the stash of food.
A small pouch of flour. And a little pouch of dried corn.
But the corn's getting added to the food, just the party food reserved as well. The pouch of flour Zodd's actually going to keep.
Okay.
Because you never know when it's going to come in handy to just, nail someone in the face with flour.
Or to cook with.
Nail someone in the face with flour.
Who else is looting the stuff in the room?
I was looking at the different things they dug up.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm
through stuff, if anything's of interest.
Yes.
Is anyone else looting the cultist belongings?
Nisra will probably poke through them.
Okay.
while looking for other things of interest.
So Nisra finds a little bit of wheat. It looks like it's a strain that's more frequently used in brewing. As well as a small jar of honey.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And lastly, she also finds a small bottle of metheglin.
A what?
Of metheglin. It's a type. No, metheglin. It's a type of brewing component in this world. If you wanted to get technical, in real world, metheglin is a medicinal herbed mead, but in Elder Scrolls Online, it's a cooking ingredient, or rather, a brewing ingredient.
Isn't it basically yeast in Elder Scrolls Online?
There is yeast available in Elder Scrolls Online. I'm using the Elder Scrolls Online's cooking ingredients and stuff like that. I actually have a chart of all of the different ingredients you can get and the rarities and stuff like that. So, yeah. So lots of cooking ingredients you guys had found. Nisra.
Are
Yeah.
you sure these were cultists and not just chefs with really bad fashion sense?
Nisra, I would like you to roll a perception check for me.
Okay. As a note, my passive perception and passive investigation are 21.
Yeah.
Well, passive perception is 21, but yeah.
Yep.
25.
Very nice. You find a small note in one of the packs, scribbled in such a way where it seems like it was intended to keep it secret, but you cut through that very easily, and you find a recipe for Khajiit apple spanakopita.
That's beer, ain't it?
No.
No, it's a baked good.
Well, I don't know what a spanakopita is.
Spanakopita.
My soul is crying right now.
Spanakopita is good.
Spanakopita is delicious.
So, yeah. As for artifacts, most of it is stuff that you have seen lying around all over the place. But on the table are several control rods, which, as you remember, Farum was trying to find a way to kind of like combine them in some way to be able to control. He thinks he might be able to combine them in a way to try to control the Numidium prototype.
Yes.
And it doesn't look like he's made much headway.
Okay. I grab all of the control rods,
Okay.
including the one that Khajiit dude had.
Okay. So you now have a spider control rod, a centurion control rod, a sphere control rod, and another one that you don't quite recognize.
What else is left? Holy crap, okay. Okay.
Anything else you guys would like to do down here?
We were gonna go and actually check out that room that led to the
hallway.
To the hallway. And I said if you gave me an hour, I could investigate it further.
Yes.
And I can help with any investigation, so if people want Zodd to help.
You want up the hill?
It's up to you.
I'm fine with Zodd helping. It's just I don't.
Nisser would rather just collapse this entire dig and leave. But you're the one who wants to investigate.
Zodd wants full clear.
Okay, so let's go back to the room where we destroyed the, or fudged up slightly, the lever.
Mm-hmm.
Fix it, and then you can go check out.
So, that room where I fucked up the lever, you
Uh-huh.
said you could see into the room, but it was hard to like get a good look because there were so many of those
Bright glowing orbs of pain and suffering for your eyeballs.
no,
There were a lot of bars from the portcullises.
Yeah, but there's gaps between the bars, right?
Yeah.
Okay. How big of a gap?
If you're planning on doing what I think you're planning on doing, you might be able to squeeze through.
That's not what I was going to do, but good to know.
Zodd could just dimensional door everyone to the other side of the gate.
I don't want a dimensional door until I know what's on the other side. So what I was going to do is I needed to know how big it was because I wanted to know how big of a familiar to summon.
It's about the size of maybe okay, relatively speaking for Elder Scrolls, small spider or a rat to get through, or maybe even like a sparrow or other small bird.
So Pierre could probably squeeze through.
No.
No?
He might get his shell stuck because he doesn't have any squish factor.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. And I'm thinking.
Okay, so like a small owl could get in there.
Yeah.
Okay. See, give me a second. Find familiar takes how long to cast?
Are you doing it as a ritual or are you doing it as a spell?
I could do it as a spell. I don't give a shit.
Casting time is still an hour.
It's an hour either way?
Yeah.
Oh, then I might as well do it as a ritual. Save me some points. Okay. So if you guys give her time, she can send something to scout it ahead to make sure that it's not something dangerous before we just port over.
We don't need to port over if we just fix the levers that we broke and then just open the portcullises.
But we don't know if opening them would trigger anything, seeing as they tend to like their traps.
Levers open portcullises.
Yes, but smart people trap their own doors.
Yes, I understand that, but the lever only has one mechanism to open the portcullis.
That you know of.
There were a couple levers on the thing. It wasn't just one.
Yeah, there's multiple portcullises.
Yes, but opening them in wrong order could summon monsters.
Whatever.
She's like, fine, go ahead, fix it, and you get to go in first.
I don't have mending.
She's like, you want it mended?
Yeah, we broke it with the statement that you had mending and you can fix it.
Okay. So she goes over and she mends the levers and she says, if you would like to go in first, go for it.
I never said I don't want to. I want to go in first.
Zodd just asking Pierre, is this normal for humanoid females? He's not saying this out loud though. He's saying this is purely telepathic.
She mends the levers and she says, go ahead, use the lever if you wish. I am going to perform a ritual and I'll join you in an hour. And she goes over and sits, after she mends the levers, she lets you go if you would like. It's up to you. You can go ahead and go.
I'm not going. I'm not. Never mind. Fuck it.
What? Amrit wanted to go in. You could have him go in if that's what he would do.
Saying That the levers open the portcullises. That's all I'm saying.
Then open the portcullis. All I'm saying is Nisra isn't going to go into a room unless she knows that it's cleared.
I never disagreed with that.
It sounded like you did.
During this back and forth between Nisra, sorry, and Amrit, he's just gonna class clairvoyance.
Okay.
What do I see? What's on the other side of the portcullis? Because you said we can see a gap into the room, so I can have line of effect into the room. I make my floating eyeball of scrying on the other side of the portcullises.
Okay. So you kind of peek in and you send a little orb of magic into there. And it's a much larger room than any of the other rooms that you guys have been in thus far. And dominating the center of the room is like this large pit in which there is a 4-story tall golden metal. It looks kind of like a centurion, but much more massive and imposing.
Sorry.
Elsewhere in the room, you see all of these different mechanical setups, gears and stuff. A few cranes. Some of them have large chunks of dwarven metal on their carrying platforms, and on a catwalk, kind of going around this massive automaton, about the same level as the floor you guys are currently on. You see these. You see more of those dwarven spheres are kind of patrolling, along with like up on some little ledges up above are several more automatons, and these ones look like big ass ballistae.
Yeah, no, Zodd's gonna be like, do not open the door. He has one eye closed that he looks at Amrit and Nisra. I'm never gonna be able to pronounce that fucking name.
Nisra,
I'm sorry. And then he basically relays what he saw. There are many of those very angry spears rolling around right outside, and there are very large ballista bots, constructs, mechanisms. What have we been calling them at this point?
ballista.
No, I mean like never mind.
Automatons, animunculi.
There are many ballista automatons pointed down. That and the fact that the robot looks like it's multiple 4 stories, 5 stories tall, from what I can see. I'd rather not open that door.
Well, then what do you propose we do if you're wanting to explore the prototype?
We have.
How many spheres did you say there were?
How many spheres?
There are several, maybe about somewhere between 6 and 8.
From what I can see, with how they're moving, about 6, maybe 8, might be more if something happens. What I'm worried about is the ballistas. They are very high up. I doubt any of us could get to them before that. They ping at least one of us. And I am not very well. Kind of gestures to the fact that he's still charged from the lightning bolt.
Well, this 4th control rod might control the ballistas.
Do you need line of sight for that, or can you try it from here?
I think I need line of sight.
If you try it here, I can tell you if it works. I mean, I still have an eyeball in there.
Why don't you rest for the hour that Nisra's doing whatever she's doing?
Yeah, you guys have the opportunity of a short rest.
All right.
For those who took damage in the last go of things.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah, no, I'll do a short rest. Too bad that doesn't restore magic, though, but I'll do a short rest.
Yeah. So everyone who takes a short rest may spend hit dice if they need to.
How do I determine how many hit points I get back from that?
Whatever
roll,
your hit dex is.
yeah, you roll a hit die. Be sure to mark down that you have expended it. And then you add your Constitution modifier to the die roll.
Oh, so just basically a D8 plus 2. Okay.
Yeah.
I get back 4 hit points. Well, 6 hit points.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Got the average.
Yeah, I got the perfect average, then the plus 2 for my con.
So, an hour passes, and you guys see some mist kind of swirl about Nisra, and the mist slowly gathers into a small little spot, and you guys see an adorable little owl appear in front of her. It kind of looks up at you, Nisra, and kind of hoots expectantly.
Yeah. She scoops it up and sets it on her shoulder.
When you go to scoop it up, as you pick up the body, you guys see the legs go on for days before it's actually lifted up and put on her shoulder.
What?
Owls are such leggy little buggies.
Oh, okay.
No, like seriously, there's videos of like people picking up the bottom, like the owl or whatever, and exposing just how leggy they are. There's so much leg there.
Yeah, it's all the plumage they have.
Yep.
It's just how he described it. I'm just imagining you picking it up and the legs just extending until you get about chest height, and then the legs stopping. You lift it up and the legs shrink in.
Springy owl.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the owl is now perched on your shoulder.
Yes.
Aw, now you got a little animal friend.
Is Pierre and the owl having a stare off?
No. If anything, Pierre kind of waves to the owl, and the owl hoots back.
So cute.
Zodd feels there's a conspiracy going on between the owl and the crab.
No, they're just friends.
Zodd's actually going to ask at this point, do you know
him? Pierre chitters to the negative.
Familiar thing?
Kind of moves his claws in a way that would approximate a shrug.
You need to tell me where you live, so in case I do have to dismiss you, just in case. I hate not being able to find you, little buddy.
In your mind's eye, you get the image of a small stone house in Daggerfall. And inside you see a young woman who... It takes you a brief moment, but you realize that she's half Breton, half Dark Elf. And she's helping out an older Breton man in an apothecary shop.
I'm not going to get slapped because I summoned you if I show up there and ask for Pierre, am I?
The crab shrug happens again.
I have a feeling I'm going to get slapped when I show up there, but it'd be worth it. Zodd likes little buddy.
Little friend of Reno.
Yes. Zodd has weakness for natural creatures. Pierre is best.
So what would you guys like to do?
How many levers and how many portcullises are there?
From what you can gather, there are 4 portcullises kind of arranged in that way that makes it difficult to see through. And there are 2 levers on one side of the door and 2 levers on the other side.
Huh. Okay.
How far are the levers on the other side?
No, they're same room, other side of the door.
Okay. Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay, I pull a lever.
You see 2 portcullises raised, the second one in and the fourth one in.
Oh god damn it! It's one of these puzzles.
Okay, I pull the lever next to it.
The fourth portcullis drops and the first one raises.
So
Okay.
that's the first and the second up, and the third and the fourth down.
No. What? Wait,
said,
what?
He said the second and the fourth raised with the first one you pulled. The second one you pulled dropped the
Josh,
fourth and raised the first.
Put it in the thing so that way.
Like I said, it's one of those puzzles.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so I go to the other side of the room and pull one of those levers.
The fourth portcullis raises.
Okay, and the one next to that?
And the third one raises.
Cool.
I thought you were about to say all of them dropped, but the first one, and I was like,
I'm not that mean. I absolutely hated those puzzles in Skyrim.
I hated them too because you sit there and fiddle with them for like an hour and still not get it right.
Like, dang it, I've been at this for like 2 hours.
Then you have the dungeons that you wander into before you have the appropriate shout, and you can't get through it because the only way to get past it is by using a shout.
Or you wander into the dungeon where it's a quest dungeon, and then you end up locked into a certain room because you don't have the quest, and the game glitches out on your ass, and you just get stuck there, and you have to reload a 2 or 3 hour later save.
But anyway, you guys now have this hallway available to you, leading into the larger room. But as the doors or the portcullises raise, 2 slits in either side of the hallway give off a whooshing sound, and you guys see blades pop out, spinning and moving back and forth.
Zodd just looks at Amrit.
What?
It would be trapped.
It's trapped. Good job.
I see that.
Oh, she doesn't say that out loud. She just looks at you.
Zodd just stares back.
I hate you both right now.
Okay.
Whoever's anything, blow your nose.
How high
Wait,
are the blades off
Wait
the
a minute.
ground?
Blow your nose.
Either mute your mic before you do that, or just like go somewhere and blow your nose.
Oh,
'Cause that is the worst sound ever.
she's blowing in her hands to warm them up.
Don't do it on your mic.
And see, the sound doesn't even bother me because it's turned into background noise for me at this point.
Yeah, same.
So
But
how high are the blades off of the ground?
about waist height.
So if someone were to basically crawl, they could just crawl right underneath them.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
Is there a
Wait.
lever on the other side of the hallway?
There is.
Okay, that'll turn off the trap.
How far away? How long is this hallway?
About 40, 50 feet.
Right. Zodd's gonna crawl about 20 feet into the hallway, and then just cast Mage Hand to pull the lever.
Clever. Yeah. You definitely succeed on that. You get a luck point.
A what?
Luck. Inspiration.
Oh, I still have no idea what inspiration does, but I can only mark it with a little dragon symbol. So
It
Yeah.
lets you re-roll a 20 or get advantage or get rid of disadvantage.
Ah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I just
And does the rule like still apply that if we like don't use our luck at like the end of a game, we have to like use it for XP or something?
No, because I'm doing the level ups based off of milestones.
Mhm.
So if you don't use it, it doesn't carry over to the next session.
so use it or
Okay.
lose it.
Yeah.
you there lose it.
So once the blades finally stop spinning, Zodd's just gonna stand up.
Okay. What would you guys like to do?
Um,
Zod Zod's gonna point out something he's been thinking about since they started walking down here. You can only use one control rod at a time, right?
I don't know. Oh, great and powerful GM.
The reason
The only way to know is if you try.
I ask is there's two types of bots in there. If you can only use one, don't you need to give a control rod to someone else just so we don't get pelted?
I don't know. I've never tried.
But, like, do we want to take that risk?
Well, if we're in the hallway, presumably we're not in a spot where one of the ballistas can hit us. Presumably. And then we can see if I can control more than one sphere at a time. And then we can deal with the ballista when we get to the point where I know whether or not I control multiple spheres at a time.
Question: Would how they were raised up and would where they're placed, would they be able to shoot down the hallways?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, you're the one with the control rod to doom and suffering, so you go ahead.
Okay. I guess I walk down the hallway quietly.
Okay. So, you creep down the hallway. I'm not even going to have you do a sneak check because you're not quite within view of the animalculi yet. And from where you're kind of hiding, you can see, you can see that you're close enough to the spheres to where you think, based off of your previous experience, you might be able to activate the sphere control rod to control them.
Cool. I would like to try that.
All right, go ahead and do an Arcana check for me.
I can do that.
I'll give you advantage because after having perused Ferrum's notes, you have a general understanding of how they work.
Okay. And I did control a spider.
You did control a spider, yeah. So that just feeds into your advantage.
Okay. So 17 plus 8 is 25.
So one of the spheres comes rolling by, and a brief beam of magic shoots out of the tip of the control rod and hits it, and it stops mid-roll and waits.
Cool.
Now you just need to do that 5 to 7 more times.
Go get it to kill his friends.
Yeah, I think that might be my best bet. Yeah, have the sphere go and attack another sphere.
Okay. So
Fight!
so it starts
Battle.
it starts rolling back in the opposite direction that it had come, and slams right into another sphere. Both of them pop open and begin swinging swords at one another, kind of fighting one another. I would like you to... I would like you to roll a d20. Odds, the enemy sphere succeeds. evens, your sphere succeeds.
Even.
Your sphere,
4.
your
Woo.
you see the flash of sparks as metal hits metal, and then eventually that bright blue blast of energy as a sphere explodes, and the sphere that you had sent out comes rolling back and it, like perches itself about 6-7 feet away, waiting for your next command.
Would you like to do some mending before I send it to the next one?
Sure.
How
I
did,
cast mending on it.
did any of the other automatons react?
No.
Hmm.
It seems like they're not reacting to it as they would an organic creature.
Zodd's going to ask Amrit to, so how, you know what most of those do. What about the new one you got? You want to try that one while you currently have one under control, just, you know, in case, to see if you can control multiple types at the same time?
I just realized something hilarious.
Hmm.
I have Arcanist Magic Aura, which means I can make myself appear as anything to like another thing with special detection abilities.
So
And I had mine set to not appear as anything because I didn't want people finding me.
Mm.
Okay.
I wonder if that works on automatons.
Do you want to try it out?
Yeah, like, try now or never.
Take the ballistic control rod.
Well, how does
Step
Nisra
out.
convey this to the rest of the party?
I have magic ways to hide.
Is there somewhere she could go that would be within 60 feet of somewhere safe that she could get a line of sight to the ballistas to test out the control rod?
You think you might be able to get down near the 4-story tall construct?
No.
It's
No.
not.
Well, I mean, she wants somewhere where she can get line of sight to the ballistas. That if the automatons do react to her presence, that she can then misty step to safety.
That would be within 60 feet of the hallway. You would have to misty step back into the hallway.
And the hallway is technically safe for right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. She turns to Amrit and she's kind of like thinking about it, and she's like, do you mind letting me see the unused rod?
Sure.
I want to test something. And she walks out cautiously, gets in with line of sight, and sees if the rod will react to the ballistas.
So she walks out and has to quickly dodge a sphere that rolls past. But it rolls past without any indication of having noticed her. And when you get out there, you see that the ballista are maybe about 70, 80 feet, 70, 80 feet up. I would like you to go ahead and do an Arcana check with the control rod.
Okay. Nope. That one.
It kind of it fizzles and sparks for a bit, with no effect, other than to kind of give away your position.
Okay. Do any of the other ones seem to react to me though?
No.
Okay. She's like, interesting. She'll kind of move to another spot for one of the orbs to like the spheres to kind of pass her by again.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants to see if it goes by without any incident.
Yep.
Okay. She walks back to Amrit. And she's like, you seem to have better luck with these. And she hands it to him. And she looks at you and says, are you willing
To do what?
to be touched by death?
Okay. That went from like 0 to 100 real quick.
That
What are
wording.
you talking about?
Yeah.
She doesn't explain. She just asks. And she looks at you and waits for your answer.
That's like every day of my life.
So you do it?
Okay.
Amrit confirmed necrophilia.
So yeah, she like places her hand like on your shoulder and then runs her hand kind of down your tingling sensation.
You cut out there for a moment.
Yeah.
She gives Amrit the good touch and yeah, she gives you the same mask that she currently has.
Kids, do not listen into this session.
Yeah, her hand runs down your spine and you kind of feel a tingling sensation and you're not exactly sure if it's good or bad. And then she gestures for you to go out in the hallway. She goes, they shouldn't bother you.
Okay.
For now.
Okay.
Yep. You've been touched by death.
Every day in my life.
Every day. Every damn day.
Okay.
How
So
Day and day.
How frequently are you able to do that effect for someone else?
I can do it quite regularly. If you let me do it every day for a month, it's permanent.
Oh, jeez.
Every day for a month.
It lasts for 24 hours. Enjoy.
Oh my. And with the 2-minute rule, oh god, that does become permanent.
Alright, so Amrit, are you headed out into into the den of aggressive robots?
He's like, he has no idea what she just did to him.
Can I roll?
You got stroked.
Arcana check to see if I know what this is?
Sorry?
Can I roll an Arcana check to see if I know what this is?
Sure. Because
Cool.
you know she definitely did some sort of magic, so...
That'd be a 16.
Your best guess is it's some sort of cloak.
Okay. Sure, I'll go out into the big room.
Oh, and when she uses magic that requires any sort of verbal, it's enetic.
Okay.
Which you recognize it as Netic even though you can't fully understand it. Which, for Amrit, that's exciting.
Yes.
He's scaroused. She did something. And now says, go out in danger, you'll be fine. Go play in traffic, it's okay, the cars won't hit you.
Amrit's walk at this point is a little stiff-legged.
I go into the room.
The spheres pass you by without seeming to notice you.
Cool.
In fact, none of the animunculi seem to recognize that you're even there.
Cool.
He's just like, what the fuck did you do?
Okay, so I try to use the troll rod for presumably the ballista and try to control a ballista.
Okay. Go ahead and do an Arcana check. Instead of having advantage, go ahead and roll it normally. Because the advantage of knowing it is canceled out by the disadvantage of distance.
Okay, that would be a 16.
The rod lights up, and you see a beam of energy reach out to one of the ballista, and for a brief moment, it kind of shudders as if responding to a call before it goes back to its normal patrol routine.
Like, I didn't quite get it?
Not quite, but almost.
Go closer?
It's too high up. Can I try again? Is there something I can stand on? Or climb up?
The four-story tall colossi in the center.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Let's not climb on the Numidium. Please and thank
You
you.
think touching it might actually?
Hey, you never know. Touching it might give Amrit cosmic knowledge. Think about it. Cosmic
I'd be
knowledge.
totally okay with that. I already have some cosmic knowledge. Thank you very much. Okay.
Wait, well, you need a little more.
I'm just going to try again with the ballista.
Okay.
To help you.
Oh, that's better. That's a 19.
You focus your magicka through the rod, kind of supplementing it with a little bit of your own energy. I'll have you dock 1 magicka point.
Okay.
And the surge of magic activates the ballista, and it awaits your command.
Cool.
Shoot the other ballista.
That's exactly.
Can the ballista move, or is it completely locked in place? Like, does it have little legs so it can walk around?
I believe so, yeah.
Can we keep one of these as a pet just so we have a walking artillery piece?
No.
Oh.
Aw. That would have been awesome. It'd
Yeah,
be
that-
like that guy in like Borderlands that like
That-
sent out a turret.
That would have been so useful because we would never have to worry about siege weaponry again.
All
So,
right.
so you're having it attack another one of the dwarven ballistae?
Yes.
Okay. It turns and aims at one of the other ballista, which is not too difficult since they appear to be stationary on those outcrops, and a big ass metal bolt shoots out of it and collides with the other ballista, and you see it fall. Like the impact shakes it off of the ledge that it's on, and it falls down onto the catwalk you're standing on. The catwalk itself is suspended about 60 feet off the floor that the giant construct is standing on, and three of the dwarven spheres are absolutely crushed by the ballista, and I need you to do a dexterity saving check for me to maintain your footing as the catwalk is half the catwalk is absolutely demolished.
This is not going to be good.
Can I give someone else my inspiration point?
You cannot.
Shit.
Oh,
Good job, babe.
21.
So you managed to hold on.
Yeah.
You managed to hold on as the ballista smashes into the catwalk, and for a brief moment you think, okay, it's
Okay.
good. When the ballista explodes, and the explosion from that is much larger than the spheres.
Oh, damn it.
You don't take any damage, but the remaining spheres are demolished, giving off smaller explosions as they all explode.
Oh, fuck. Not this
Oh my
again.
god, you set up a landmine.
I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please, at disadvantage.
Uh,
That would be a 19.
You guys see Amrit suddenly freeze on the catwalk. Like like everything goes silent, but he's still standing there clenching at the metal grating of the catwalk, and his eyes seem like he's miles away.
Damn it. You cut out like there for a second.
His eyes seem like he's miles away.
Mm.
How far is Amrit from us?
About 70 feet at this point.
Shit.
Amrit,
Mm-hmm.
you're in a different part of Hammerfell now. You're looking out over a series of canyons, and trying to you and your battalion are trying to cross over a large stone bridge. When you hear the sound of explosions coming from below the bridge, and you
Oh, jeez.
feel yourself falling along with the rest of your battalion into the canyon. You're in a lot of pain when you hit the ground, but you're alive and still in one piece. But as you look around, you see the crumpled bodies of the rest of your battalion. Some of them are just mangled beyond belief amongst the rubble of the stone bridge, and others are still alive but crying out in pain as their limbs are jutting out at odd angles. And meanwhile, your leader nearby, he's somehow still alive despite the fact that the lower half of his body is absolutely crushed by a large boulder. What do you do?
Fetal position.
Kill everybody.
So I know leader dude, if I somehow managed to move that rock, which I sincerely doubt, that's probably the only thing keeping him alive right now. I probably move over to someone.
I should also note that you're second in command on this battalion.
Oh. Crap. Okay, so there are people who aren't crushed but just have like broken limbs and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so I can help people with broken limbs. That's probably where I go first.
Okay.
What was the battalion's mission besides trying to cross the bridge?
I don't think it really matters.
Well, you were second in command, so if you were delivering a message or something, your commander would probably have it.
I can deal with that later.
Okay.
So you find about four other elves that you're able to heal effectively. But quite a few others are just there. It would take hours to repair them. One Khajiit is laying on the ground with with his tail completely severed, and one of his legs is broken in several different places. You're able to heal his You're able to heal his leg and stop the bleeding from where his tail got cut off. And then as you're headed back towards your commander, you find that one of the men in the battalion that you'd actually ended up developing a sort of friendship with, you see him on the ground, and his chest has completely been crushed by one of the stone support beams for the bridge. And his the look in his face, kind of frozen in death, is one of just absolute horror. And you head back to the commander, and I'd like to know kind of what's going through Amrit's mind, how Amrit's dealing with all of this.
He's probably gone into that pure, I'm gonna fix as many people as I can, but like very detached.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of just step away, because right now he can't process emotions and be effective.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you go up to your commander, and what do you say?
I probably. Well, what's the is the commander saying anything?
He's kind of groaning in pain. He looks up at you, says, Amrit, I don't think I can move. I can't feel my legs.
I nod and just tell him, if I move this rock, I don't think you would survive.
Damn it. How many men survived?
I tell him, however many.
Yo, status report.
Status report.
He sighs, he says, that's not enough to get into the city. I'm changing your orders, Amrit. You're in command of the battalion now. I'm gonna need you to retreat back to the main force.
Okay.
He looks at you, says, I have another request of a personal nature.
Sure.
And he kind of gestures at the stone. He says, don't leave me here like this. I'd rather die. He says, and when you get back to the rest of the main force, I need you to just tell my husband I died in combat.
Aww.
I can do that.
He kind of nods, and you see a tear kind of running down his face. He's like, all right, well, if you're gonna kill me, make it quick.
Okay, so let's see. I don't think I'd be able to move this rock. Do I have some sort of weapon on me?
Yeah, per standard provisioning, you've got a dagger and you've got a sword.
Okay. Probably the quickest way to kill him is just to kill him myself.
Yeah.
So I probably take the dagger and tell him that it was an honor to know him and to serve under him, and then just stab him in the heart.
The light eventually fades from his eyes, and you're not sure if it's just the relaxing of the muscles or if he was actually smiling, but a smile kind of crosses his face. And when you stand back up and turn around, you find that the 6 or 7 remaining members of your battalion are all standing there looking at you expectantly. And a couple of them are as young as 15.
Oh shit! They're just kids. Okay.
War, man. There ain't no one that's innocent in war.
I just kind of stand up and give it like a single beat, and then tell them, gather anyone who can be saved. We are turning back.
And right after you say that, up at the top of the cliff, you hear a whole bunch of clicking, as if arrows were being nocked. And when you look up, you see on either side a couple of groups of Bretons and Red Guards. And one Breton says, "You're not going anywhere today. You're staying right where you are." Nisra.
Yes.
You see Amrit is kind of, he had kind of gone back into that state of shock that you had seen earlier. What do you do?
Is it bad? The first thing I thought was, if he's a thrall, he has no thoughts and therefore cannot be trapped by them.
No, that's not a bad thought. That's a
Have a way
merciful
to
thought.
protect him from his own mind, aside from making him a little mindless for a little bit. think in his current state, he's probably likely to fail that will save. So.
Wait, would paint snap him out of it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I was like.
I mean, I have Phantasmal Force and Eldritch Blast. We can easily knock Amrit out of it.
So she goes over to him again, since she knows that the automatons do not detect her.
Yeah.
So she will go to him.
Mhm.
And what languages do you know?
A lot. Except for the one I want to know.
Except for the one you want to know that I know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except for the couple that you know that I want to know.
Because I'm like that.
Yeah.
So she will whisper in your ear in Aldmaris.
Okay.
Of return to me. And she places some of that smelling salt kind of like beneath your nose for a moment.
In the canyon, in the canyon below the Redguards and Bretons, you look at each of the boys in your command, and one of the boys, kind of in a panic, tries to run to cover. And you see an arrow fly down into the canyon, and it hits him square in the neck, and he falls to the ground, choking and bleeding on his choking on his own blood. And in the back of your mind, you hear, "Come back to me." And when you turn, you're back in the when you turn around, you're back in the room with the automatons.
Okay. I probably just shake my head and try to clear it. Thank you, Nisra. In the future, I will definitely be avoiding drummer ruins.
For now, we need to deal with this one, though.
Yes.
She kind of like fishes around in her little pouch, pulling out a little bit of beeswax and some bits of like cotton or like some cloth that would be used for bandaging, and cuts a little piece of it and wraps and like rubs the beeswax into them. She makes you earplugs.
Oh yay, earplugs!
Oh yay!
Bob, go ahead and take a luck point for that.
Okay, I put the earplugs in my ear holes.
Gestures up to your ballista automaton, and then kind of guides you into a spot where if he shoots any of the other big ones, they won't fall on us. She's like, all right, we're going to do this again, but this time you're not going to be underneath it.
Okay, so a ballista's going to shoot another ballista again.
Yep.
Are there any of the spears left at this point?
No.
All the rolly balls exploded.
The ballista fires at another ballista, and sure enough, falls and explodes. More of the catwalk collapses. Fires at the last remaining ballista, and this one, since it was pretty much across the room, gets thrown back into the wall of the room and also explodes without really doing any damage to what's left of the catwalk, leaving just your ballista.
Okay.
She points to the big robot.
No, I need to study it first. I need to study it first.
How far once you have the control rod activated, how far can you go from your automaton before it no longer keeps control?
I don't know. That's definitely something we need to check. Can I walk around and see how far the range of this control rod is?
Yeah.
Well, weren't the spiders like a good 100 feet or more from you when you activated your control rod for the spiders?
That is true. We were quite a ways up.
Like we were like
We
a
were
good
like 200 or 300 feet away from the spiders when you turned them on.
Yeah, we were like 2 or 3 rooms away from the spiders when we activated that control rod.
Well, in the room with the spiders, you were on a ledge above them on the stairwell, but it was about 200 feet away that you were able to activate the spiders.
Yeah, no, we got a line of sight. I'm just saying we were like a good 2 or 3 rooms worth of distance away from them.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't necessarily need to worry about the distance of control.
Just line of effect.
Pretty much. As you move around, you feel as if the connection to the ballista isn't broken.
Cool. Okay, guys.
And that's all the automatons in here?
Aside from the 4-story tall one.
Okay.
Is it safe?
I let my little owl kind of fly out towards the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of rest my hand on Amrit's shoulder as her eyes go completely black. And she sees through the owl's eyes.
Okay.
Cool.
Where is the owl headed?
He's going to inspect the automaton from top to bottom, like do a nice little spiral, fly down, and back up.
So steam kind of issues up from its shoulders, almost as if it's in a powered down state. It is an absolutely massive humanoid construct of clockwork and brass and bronze and such. And as you get closer to its core, you notice that it's a large spherical kind of device that seems to be spinning, and it hums with magical energy. It looks like it may be kind of like that core to the core to the machine, and arrayed around it are six greater soul gems, all of which seem to be feeding a steady stream of magicka into it. Each arm bears a weapon, one of which appears to be like the closest thing you could guess is some sort of really large flamethrower. The other one has a set of has a set of blades that look like they can spin independently of one another. And that's to say nothing of what other capabilities this thing may have.
Okay. Is there any spot on this thing that a 7-inch tall squishy owl could get into to be inside of it?
Go ahead and I won't have you make a perception check. There are a few spots, yes.
Okay.
The spots of main notability are the vents in the shoulders that are kind of issuing all of that steam. But there are a couple of spots between the plates on the torso that he might be able to get into.
Okay. I'm going to have him try to get in so he can kind of see what the insides look like.
It's just a mass of clockwork. It's kind of hard to tell where one gear begins and the other ends.
He's looking for the glow of whatever gem is powering this.
It would be the it would be the core.
The honking big core being led by 6 greater soul gems.
Well, I mean, because if we use the ballista to target this, I need to know exactly where we're wanting the ballista to aim.
I would be scared to target this. Like, the ballistas already exploded, and I'm gonna assume they maybe have a black soul gem. This thing has 6 greater soul gems feeding into an unknown power source of arcane fuckery.
No, this one's powered by black soul gems, not greater.
Oh, you said greater.
Uh,
So it's 6 black soul gems feeding into the. Oh God. Yeah, no, this thing probably would level this whole place if we set it all compared to what just one of the bigger gems can do.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to figure out if there was a way to potentially get.
How
Unfortunately, the core is fairly well protected.
how far in the ground
I
are we?
have a way to destroy the core, but we're not going to want to be near it when it goes off.
That's the reason I'm asking. How far in the ground are we right now?
A decent ways away.
So more than 500 feet?
Yeah.
Shit.
Damn.
If we were only like 300-400 feet under, I could take us all straight up 500 feet. It might be some fall damage afterwards, but I rather take fall damage than nuclear blast to the face.
Yeah.
Well, since y'all did give the all clear, right?
Get all clear from the ballista, yes, but we don't know if the Numidium's going to activate.
Oh, right. Okay. So yeah, no, Zodd is just staying with Julinak, then playing Go Fish again.
Is there any way to disable it though? I'm pretty sure our best bet is just collapsing this entire fucking dig.
Yeah, but
in order to prevent this from being found.
But then they would just dig it back up again.
You think there may be a way to dislodge the plates, but your owl certainly wouldn't be able to do it. And you're not sure that you have the combined strength and agility to be able to do it. But you do know that at least one of your companions does.
Yeah. Okay. She has the owl returned back to her.
Mm-hmm.
And then her eyes kind of go back to the pale blue. And she walks back over. She kind of leads Amrit back over to Zodd.
Yes.
And she looks at Zodd and she says, "Are you willing?"
Am I willing to be what?
Touched by death.
Well, won't be the first time I've died, so sure. Go ahead.
Okay. She runs her hand kind of down your spine, and you feel a kind of cold tingling sensation.
I bet that felt great on your fingers, considering he has little spines all down his back.
Probably not so much on yours, because she has really fucking long, sharp-ass nails.
Zodd, alligator boy.
She's basically like stabbing you with her fingernail.
Yeah,
it almost felt like a couple like really thin blades or whatever were just delicately caressing your back.
Damn, that's some weird foreplay right there.
But now you will not be noticed by the automatons. And
Pierre.
Leave Pierre here.
All right. Zodd would tell Pierre to stay there and then just kind of follow you both back to the big.
Hold on.
Sorry.
She then turns and looks at Julinak. And she says, "Are you willing?"
Okay. I don't think I have a choice in the matter, to be quite honest.
That's fair.
She looks at you and says, "There is always a choice."
Lies.
I think she just likes touching people. Do you need a hug?
Don't touch me.
So you like touching other people, but you just don't be touched.
She asked permission first, sort of.
Oh, okay.
But like,
Doesn't that mean they get dead?
does
Oh,
Julinak
You're saying
agree?
that.
Is he willing?
I mean, I guess.
Okay,
Question
she
mark.
touches you, and now the automatons will not notice you either.
Well,
And she tells you exactly where to go to disable this automaton.
all right. Well, I'll go and do that. What I need to roll for that?
Okay.
Oh,
So,
Zodd's going to pause Juliet first, like, shouldn't we, search the room first? Maybe there's a lever that just does it all. Those things have a bad habit of trying to take your hands if you, try to turn them off manually.
Wait, what?
He's basically saying search for traps before you touch shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Well,
And,
that too. I should
maybe-
definitely do that.
You know, unless you want to have a repeat of Zodd last time with a hand inside a round wall.
And
Well,
maybe,
Julinak is very smart. He's actually a very smart orc.
and,
So.
maybe search the room too, because we could probably find some notes, leverage, other things.
There wasn't anything else in the room, right?
I fucking searched the whole place.
Oh, well, you said he said there was like workstations and shit from the way he described it.
In the massive room?
Well, he said there was cranes with materials.
yeah, it looks like this is the same room that the construct was built in.
Yeah. You guys worry about disabling the automaton. Amrit and Nisra can go deal with the paperwork.
Zodd's gonna look at Julinak. Why do I feel that's like dumb?
They're like cutting out for me. I didn't hear what you said.
Zodd's gonna look at Julinak and mutter, "Why do I feel like they're treating us like the dumb muscle?"
Smile though
Well.
she leaves Amrit away.
Well, I guess we're perceived as muscles. Like, I got muscles, you got muscles. But
Julinak is over there flexing.
Zodd's gonna look at his bulk and then just ask slowly, "You don't know a first thing about crocodiles, do you?"
Dude, don't you have like a lower strength than I do?
Yes. It's like, you don't know the first thing about crocodiles, do you?
I know
Yeah,
alligators.
You don't. Boy, I got bite force. I don't got muscle.
You have bite force until somebody puts a rubber band around your snout.
Yeah, pretty much. I got leather straps to keep that down.
Look, we don't talk about that.
The point is that you guys are
better equipped to pulling open those plates and disabling the robot than we are.
Right. Julinak.
Yes.
You can get the plates open. You are clearly more muscular than I. I can get the soul gems out, and neither one of us will lose a hand because of this. His shadowy black mystical tentacle hand appears and just wiggles at Julinak.
Oh man, I'm not into that kind of stuff.
No, I mean I can grab things with this. Pick things up.
No, not into that.
Nisha just looks over her shoulder and just shakes her head and goes back to leading Amrit away.
if you're gonna grab the soul gems, make sure you also grab the core, because someone, if they should come down here, can replace the soul gems, but they can't replace the core.
Yeah. Nisra gave you instructions on removing the core first. If you guys want the soul gems afterwards,
Okay.
that's fine.
I'm thinking about it this way: remove the fuel source before you rip out the engine.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because ripping out the engine while the full fuel source is still filling, it might end up with 6 black soul gems exploding in our faces.
Fair.
Yeah.
Either way, the core has to come out.
Oh yeah, no, Zodd's taking that core. That thing could be worth some money.
We're not selling it. We're destroying the fuck out of it.
Okay, first we're gonna study it and see if we can get cosmic knowledge.
Okay.
I'm okay with this.
Amrit's like, this is an agreeable order of operations.
So,
Okay.
Julinak, do we want to do us trying to disactivate it first, or y'all searching for paperwork?
Well, you guys have to get the plates off, or at least moved in such a way where the core is exposed to be able to even access it in the first place.
Alright, so I'm using my thieves' tools from a distance with my shadow hand.
He's gonna unscrew some bolts.
Go ahead and do that with disadvantage.
I rolled a 10. That is with disadvantage.
So you're over there kind of like wiggling your claws a little bit, trying to work the tools, when all of a sudden you just...
The disadvantage from me using tools to the mage hand, or from the complexity of the robot?
All of the above.
I don't take penalties because that's what my shadow hand does.
Yeah. In which case, it's the distance and the inability to see clearly.
I can only be 30 feet away from this, and I have vision to that.
Yeah, it's still
dark vision.
It's the angle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like trying to reach into the back of the engine with a wrench so you can undo a that you can't quite see.
Okay.
But there.
So the core's in front of us, but the bolts to unscrew it are on the inside. So it's basically me fiddling around inside of it.
The core's on the inside. The core is on the inside. You guys have to move the plates first.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the screws for the plates are more riveted on the inside than the outside.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just trying to, understand.
Yeah.
Could my owl help with unscrewing some bolts?
I can do with my Steve's tool.
Not really. He doesn't have the dexterity for that.
But he got tiny little hands. He can help.
He doesn't have opposable claws.
Gripping onto it and then just letting himself
Question: Can Pierre grip onto this thing to give me a good view of the? Oh wait, no, Pierre's not with us. He's in a pocket dimension because I'm not.
Oh god, I just imagined Pierre clamping onto a bolt and the owl holding onto Pierre and flying around in a circle slowly.
Just to let you know, something that you're able to pick up with your mental connection with Pierre is, unlike most familiars, he doesn't disappear into a pocket dimension. When you unsummon him, he goes home, yeah.
No, I meant the pocket dimension for when I don't unsummon him, but I don't put him in danger. The pocket space you can shove your familiar.
Yeah, for some reason, Pierre is incompatible with that kind of setup.
Oh, okay. I can't ask.
Lyra, she's like, Pierre, where'd you go? And he comes back and has a fucking knife, and she goes, Pierre, where'd you get the knife?
Yeah. So
like the little picture I shared with you guys, like
go back with basically a Dwemer fucking dagger, made out of Centurion shards, with little Dwemer armor before the end of this at some point, and she's gonna be like, the fuck?
Where do you keep going that you get all this crap? He's just like, yeah.
No, he's like, we.
So anyway, you're trying to work with those thieves' tools to pry open the plates, and your heart sinks as you hear that clink of of one of the little pry bars snapping.
Tools. No.
Julinak, go ahead and do a perception check for me.
Q. Perception.
Which I have a -2 in.
I got 16.
You see that there's a small space between the two chest plates on either side of the breast. It's just wide enough where you think you might be able to wedge your staff in.
Ooh.
and you think it might be possible if you can get just the right amount of a twist and just enough strength to it, you might be able to use your staff as a pry bar to force those plates open.
As Zodd sees him trying to do this, you see the tentacle hand just.
Well, he hasn't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Julinak hasn't acted on it. This is just going through Julinak's mind.
He's like, yes, I can do that.
What
Hmm.
are you thinking of doing?
Wait, I can hear you. What?
What are you thinking of doing?
So you see my staff here, right?
Yes.
I can actually wedge it in between those, like wherever the whole things are, and just push it out.
He looks at you before he reaches into his backpack and just pulls out a crowbar.
I mean, that can work too, since it's keep us a far distance as well. But I got a staff.
I figured your staff's wood, right?
It is wood, but it can still pull it out. I kill people with this thing, man.
Yeah, but wouldn't you rather use a metal crowbar instead of a wood bar?
You're just comparing. You're comparing the size of your rods, and like Zodd's crowbar is like a quarter of the length of the staff.
But mine is made out of metal.
Bruh.
Do you know how sad you're going to be if you break your staff?
I'm just imagining Nithrin looking back over at them, like
do your thing.
It doesn't matter what race, they're all weird and obsessed with their gods. Millennia have passed, and it's the same.
Right. So since Julinak is clearly going to use his own rod, his wood rod, Zodd's just going to put his crowbar away and just step back, just in case, flying wooden shrapnel.
Okay. I use my staff.
Okay, so first thing I'd like you to do is an athletics check to climb up to where you need to be.
Ooh.
You'll have to climb the automaton to get there.
So the walkway isn't okay.
I got 15.
Okay, so you're easily able to get up there.
Proficient in athletic.
Yeah. So you climb up. You kind of slide your staff in between the breastplates. Now, what I'm going to need you to do is a strength check to get that like twist going.
Okay. Let's see.
Yank it. Pull it.
Ooh, that's a good roll. 17.
So Zodd, you're sitting there kind of muttering under your breath about like wood versus metal when you see the plates begin to widen as like Julinak's muscles are straining and he's kind of pushing and turning, and the staff's actually holding its own as it's pushing these breastplates apart.
God is very clearly going to mutter about magical wood bullshittery.
Julinak says, like, suck it, Stuart Gator.
Crocodile, not a gator. You damn green skin.
And a moment passes as you continue twisting, and eventually your rod is kind of your staff is horizontal to the ground, so that the breastplates are pushed open to the as wide as your staff is long, fully exposing the core. But you're not sure you'd be able to remove your staff without those plates closing back up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to suggest you stand back just in case, yanking out these soul gems cause things to get a little bit boomy.
Fair enough, but how can I get him out if I can't pull him out?
Leave your staff there and step back because I can do that.
All right. Fair point.
I mean,
All right.
he wiggles the ethereal hand at you.
Hey man, don't touch me.
If I wanted to touch you, I'll just wait for you to go to sleep.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So I guess like Julinak tries like Julinak parkour like off the thing.
Okay, at least
Okay,
when Zara Zoe in her sleeping was just the beads.
go ahead and do an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics. Okay.
Do a superhero landing.
Nat
That's
1
what
because
I'm
superhero landings are hell on your knees.
I got
Doing it.
17.
So you jump off of the construct. You do a quick twist and a backflip in the air, and you land coming down to one knee, full on superhero style.
Parkour.
Alright, so
This was just sure that they're showing off.
And Zodd, as
Yes,
this
yes.
happens, you see the cup of whiskey go flying up into the air. You see the whiskey come out of the cup, and then when Julinak lands, he extends a hand, catches the cup perfectly, and all of the liquid falls right into the cup perfectly. Not a drop spilled.
And then he takes a sip.
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Villains for pussies.
I'm gonna say that cup's possessed, but alright. So, do I take a negative with my thieves tool now since I broke one of the little pry bars, or
Well, it depends on what exactly you're trying to do.
wiggle out the soul gems instead of just yanking them?
Okay.
Pry, more likely.
So, rolling thieves tools. Yeah. Advantage or disadvantage?
You want to get up closer so you can actually see what the shit.
Oh yeah, no. Zodd got closer so he can see it. He has to stay within 30 feet of. He has to be within 30 feet of it anyway to actually be able to use Mage Hand for this.
Mage Hand, I think, goes further.
30. No, it's 30 feet. I've checked.
I thought it
If
could
it-
go out as far as 60, but okay.
If it gets more than 30 feet away from you, or if you cast the spell again, it vanishes.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead and do it with disadvantage, not because of distance or angle, but because of how well constructed this is. It's going to be difficult getting these things out.
If I use a luck point to get rid of disadvantage, do I roll again? Or
So
Wait,
if you roll a luck point now, you're canceling the disadvantage and you're rolling it straight, no advantage or disadvantage. If you
So-
roll and don't do so well, you can use the luck point to roll again.
you're better off waiting to see how bad you do. So if you roll and you look at your dice and you have like a 2 and a 3, then you might want to roll again.
well, I rolled a 12, counting the disadvantage.
Is that a 12 plus your, I think it's your dex, and then if you're proficient in thieves tools, it uses your proficiency.
There's only 1 plus 6 with this, so I rolled a 6, and then there's a plus 6 because I have proficiency with the tool, but my dex is also 6, so should this be a 9 or?
Sorry?
Because if you have double proficiency in your thieves tool,
I think only rogues get double proficiency on stuff like
Yeah,
that.
I don't have. I don't think I have. I don't think I have double proficiency.
okay. So then yeah, your plus 6 to your thieves is your dex and your proficiency.
Okay, then yeah. I rolled a 12.
Okay.
So you can either keep that result, or if you want to roll your luck point, or if you want to use your luck point, you would have to use the second result.
Well, considering a 10 broke one of my pry bars, And you're saying that this thing is made so amazingly that it's disadvantage. I'm gonna stick with the 12 just to see what happens
Okay.
and see if this is even possible.
Okay. So you feel you kind of you're working as best as you can, and the thieves' tools don't break, and you eventually see the black soul gem kind of shift position a little bit as you're working it out, and then all 6 of them begin to glow much brighter than before, starting with the one that you shifted, and crackling electricity / magic begin to ripple outward from that stone, hitting all of the other soul gems that are circling the core, and then also into the core. The core begins spinning faster and begins to give off a bright red light, and it sounds not like it's powering up, but like it's surging.
Oh shit.
We should leave.
Son of a bitch.
Either pull it just now or we need to go.
By the hist.
I vote on going. Maybe?
How heavy do you think this would you
Well,
what I estimate this for is?
Wanting to do was going to have my owl do black hand on the core itself, not the powering things, to destroy the actual engine, leaving alone the gems.
How heavy do you approximate this core to be? Like from guesstimating on Zodd's part.
Heavy. You've felt the weight of the sphere that you had to lug around last session, and that was
more than 10 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Zodd's just gonna stare at it, curse, like just full blown Argonian cursing at this point.
Does anyone know Sex Leo? Does anyone know Sex Leo?
No.
Josh, question.
Answer.
The core is separate from the gems, right? Like the gems aren't are attached, but not like on the core, right?
They're not physically attached, but given the surge that's building up right now, they are attached via magical means.
Okay. But if the core was destroyed or disabled, would it affect the gems?
No.
Would it?
Could it?
I mean, if you think about it like an electrical system and it's surging right now, the core could either be an amplifier or a fuse. So the core is going to discharge the surge and possibly kill us. It's going to build up and explode like a transformer would, or it might just sputter out and burn out the whole system, including the soul gems.
Well, I was thinking more of like if you use acid on the engine block, it's not necessarily going to destroy your fuel tank. Your engine is fucked.
He posted 10. I'm worried.
Okay. Let's go.
Yeah, no, Zodd is going to yell in common, okay, run. And
I grab as many papers as I can and then scurry.
Zodd's gonna grab.
Guys, I think this place is gonna blow.
I was trying to say, what had Nisra and
I'll be right back.
been doing the whole time they were dicking off?
Yeah, we'll pop over to that real quick. So
because we might already have all of the papers.
So you guys are going after the papers in the other construction room, the one that the one to which you accessed this hallway?
Yeah.
Okay. There are a lot of various papers all written in Dwemer. And it's an easy matter to kind of scoop them all up off of the tables and such. Go ahead and give me some perception checks.
All of us, or just them?
Just those two.
Alright, just the two.
I got a nat 20.
Nice.
Damn.
I rolled a 19, which gives me a 26.
Okay. Both of you, as you're kind of circling around this room, kind of come to the last workbench.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys have hit the academic motherlode.
Just
Sorry, I'm right back.
grabbing everything.
Yeah, you're grabbing everything, but you head up to this and you find the academic motherlode. It's the schematics for the Numidium prototype.
Okay.
Right, so since they're not running up to us, Zodd has.
Hold on.
Yeah, this is while you guys are fiddling. This is
Okay, sorry,
yeah.
sorry. Like, I'm sorry we got interrupted. I finally showed up. Sorry about
It's all good. Go ahead.
Based off of the schematics, does there look like a way to disable it?
From what it looks like, are you able to read, Dwemer?
You still hadn't told me what other. I have one other language I don't know yet, and you didn't tell me what one I could have.
Oh, that was one of the things that I was trying to remember we needed to do.
Because I've spent a lot of time dicking around everywhere since I've had a lot of time.
I'm gonna say you probably can't read Dwemer because they were fairly elusive, even if they were around while you were. You might know Akaviri though, because the Akaviri have tried to invade Tamriel several times.
We need the right set of stone.
Okay.
But as you guys are looking over the schematics, I am willing to give you guys an opportunity to make an intelligence check.
What was that?
Not you. Don't worry.
20 unnatural.
Same.
There
But
is
powers combined.
there is a chunk of text next to a line that kind of points at the core.
Mm-hmm.
That is written in bold Dwemer, and it's easy to see. It's easy to assume that it's a warning. You're just not sure what the warning is.
Okay. That is probably around the time where we grab up the stuff and we start walking back out. We see him dicking around inside the chest and are just like, no. And then all of a sudden he goes, guys, and we're already catch the fuck up.
Yeah, by the time y'all get to us, Zodd is.
In fact, hold on real quick. Hold on. So Nisra and Amrit are the two most magically inclined, no?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
I need some minor casting, but I don't know if you.
I think those two are the ones that are most magically inclined, though. I need both of you to make willpower saving throws.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh crap. I don't have a luck point.
How have you not gotten a luck point with all the trauma you've had happen to you?
Hey, with all the trauma, you don't really need luck.
I think with all the trauma, they made the bad life choices. So.
Okay, I have a 19.
I got a 9.
Okay. Nisra.
Yes.
You hear screaming. Like hundreds of people screaming out in pain.
I was like, this is probably not the first time.
But this
I
is-
have a feeling they
this is to a-
overcharged those black soul gems.
This is to a greater degree than you've ever experienced. Even all of those centuries back when your village was laid waste,
Okay.
this dwarfs even that.
Okay.
Oh God.
But you were fairly well grounded when it happened.
Mhm.
When the screams broke out.
Mhm.
Amrit, on the other hand,
Oh no. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
the screaming breaks out in your mind. And you find yourself standing on a wall overlooking a city in siege. This time it's not in Hammerfell. This time it is on the border of Valenwood. You're at a high elf city on the border of Valenwood, and the screams you're hearing are like you're watching as fire is enveloping this city. Somehow, some of the Breton insurgents that had worked their way toward Valenwood, had gotten their hands on a combination of Kindle Patch and a couple of other alchemical ingredients. And the fire produced is a heat that can melt stone. And it is burning this city. Down below you can see people trying to run around while on fire, desperately trying to put out flames that won't go out. The fire burns with a sickly green light. And one of the young men from your battalion, a couple years prior, in fact, it's the Khajiit missing a tail. He comes running up to you, his fur singed a little bit. He says, "What do we do, Commander?"
Oh
Run.
no! Run!
Just
The city is falling. There's this one does not know if there's anything he can do.
Fly, you fools!
We go.
But go where, sir?
away from here. Just like where but here.
Away. Just like straight away. Just I don't know. Let's like go to like wherever a nice topical area.
Are the insurgents like all around the city?
They're on the other side of the city from where you're at. You can still see the campfires and stuff on the northern, on the fields to the northern side of the city, where the siege had begun. There are a lot fewer insurgents over on this side because most of the main force was focused on the northern wall.
Okay, so we head south.
He says, with what men?
All of them.
Whoever's alive.
Whomever is alive.
He nods and runs off. And a couple of hours later, you guys have managed to gather up a small force of no more than 20 men. The only civilians you were able to get a hold of, there's maybe about 15 of them. And you sneak out of the city, headed toward the Grotwood Forest to the south. When the screaming begins again, and this time you realize that the screams coming from the people in your charge here is not because of fire, but rather these plants that are kind of rising up out of the more muddy portions of the water. and they're sending out tendrils and dragging people toward them so that they can eat them. And before you can get a chance to give out an order, you see one of those tendrils wrap around the Khajiit and start dragging him into the plant's maw.
I try to destroy the plant. I don't know. I have firebolt.
Okay.
I was gonna. Does Amrit look like he's slowed his pace?
Amrit has stopped in his tracks.
Oh god.
Nistra just kind of grabs him.
Bridal carry him.
By the collar. How much does he weigh?
160 plus all the stuff I'm carrying.
I can carry him.
No, she kind of grabs him by the collar and begins to kind of like lead him along.
Basically drag him.
Muttering in Nedic about useless elf or something along those lines.
Oh, damn, might as well be racist.
Judgy. But no, she's gonna start like leading him out because she doesn't want him left behind.
Yeah, no, when they pass or get close to Zodd, Zodd's going to do the one thing he knows he can do very well. He's going to dimensional door everybody.
Okay.
The second he can lay a hand on them to complete the chain, he's dimensioning door everyone 500 feet in a direct 45-degree angle.
If you know where to dimensional door,
yeah, he does.
Don't leave it to chance because it could kill you.
I'm not leaving it to chance. The farthest we can go up, that's within 500 feet that we've already walked.
So you're able to get to the top of the stairwell in the room where Pierre had gone Super Saiyan.
And I'm going to dimensional door again.
Okay. This time you're out. This time you're out in the subterranean cavern.
I'm doing it again.
He's like,
we're practically there.
Yeah, no, Zodd is burning 3 turns to dimensional door straight to the exit.
Remember, we came down into the cavern and then down into the thing. Down further.
Okay, so doing it a third time?
Yeah.
I did it 3 times. Yeah.
You're now in the entryway to the ruins.
I moved a total of 1,005. I moved a total of 1,500 feet in 3 rounds.
Just.
Okay, we leave the door and close it.
Yep.
Give me a second. So that would be 28 minus 18. I have 10 magicka left. I'm grabbing y'all fuckers and I'm dimensioning door again down the fucking mountain.
He's like, no.
Okay.
I cannot do this anymore. I have 4 magicka left. I am out.
Okay.
So you expend all of your magicka taking these people, taking your companions down to the foot of the mountain.
Taking these assholes I know that I just met down to the mountain because one of them's kind of nice. The other one's a weird fucker, but I like talking to him. And I don't have any opinion on Julinak yet because the damn thing slept in a backpack up until now.
No, Julinak didn't sleep in a backpack, and Zoe's gone.
I mean, not Zoe. I mean, Julinak, because he wants to study how he does the fucking wine trick.
You get down to the base of the mountain. Zodd needs to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okay. Disadvantage or neutral?
Just straight roll.
Straight roll.
No. I'm mulliganing that. I'm using my luck point because I rolled a fucking 2. Okay, let me rephrase this. I rolled a 3. I rolled a nat 1.
Definitely a failure. I'm re-rolling.
Yeah. So I'm mulliganing that. So and I rolled a 9. Yay!
Plus your con mod.
That is plus my con mod.
That's
I rolled a 7, which turned into a 9.
that's
I'm fucked.
You get down to the base of the mountain, and between all of the movement and the sheer energy expenditure, you find yourself really woozy, and you collapse unconscious to the ground.
Oh, good lord.
I passed out. Woo!
Amrit,
At least you won't get cold.
I figured you were gonna have him puke up blood instead of passing out.
Amrit,
Okay.
you go to cast Firebolt. Go ahead and roll to cast it. Don't expend Magicka, since this is flashback.
Okay. Firebolt's a cantrip, so that's
you
fine.
roll to attack, yeah.
I roll to attack. Okay.
If you need, just use the use that 5e tools thing I posted. You can find your spells really easy there.
That's fine. I got it. 24.
So you're able to you do manage to hit the plant, and it kind of screeches at you. And just when it drops the Khajiit, another tendril comes up out of the ground, grabbing at him. And you're watching as just what's left of your force, as well as the civilians, are just being torn to shreds by a large large patch of creepers. And when you see the Khajiit, just this look of fear and desperation in his eyes as he's calling out to you for help, just as the maw of a plant closes around him, and you are alone in the middle of this swamp. Right about then, you feel a sudden jolt, and you're at the base of a snowy mountain in Wrothgar, with a collapsed Argonian nearby, and your collar is being gripped by Nisra.
Very irate vampire.
Which is hilarious because she's like a foot shorter than you. So she's
Do I still have that lingering hearing of all the screaming, or is that gone?
Both of you still have some of the lingering, and it for a moment seems to get louder, and then suddenly it stops.
When it
And
gets
then-
loud, sorry.
You hear a muffled boom come from within the mountain.
and the ground shakes. Just
Yeah, the ground does shake, and up above, in areas where you're pretty sure you won't get hit by it, you see massive shelves of snow just suddenly collapse and fall into an avalanche on either side of the mountain. And then the top of the mountain collapses in on itself.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I spent all my magic to get the fuck
Black
out.
soul gems explode.
It's Black Soul Gem and an experimental Dwemer engine of some sort.
Yep.
I would like Amrit and Nisra to do either history or arcana checks for me.
Woo.
Is Amrit even stable enough to do Arcana tricks?
He snapped out of it.
I stepped out of it. I'm okay.
19 plus 24 on history.
I got 22.
Both of you feel that you may have figured out what was in that core and why the detonation was so powerful. And you think you might have figured out what the warning was on the schematics.
What was
Oh
it?
god.
Your best assumption is that the entire Dwemer city down there had been absorbed into the core.
Oh, shit.
And that basically that was an entire civilization of Dwemer that just detonated.
Zod committed genocide in an accidental way.
Great. You know, like, Mikkel- So Mikkel's supposed to be telling a story about heroes. We kind of sound very far from heroes.
Yes, Somehow Zodd just committed genocide without meaning to.
They were already dead.
They're already dead.
Yeah, but we destroyed their souls. I think that's a little worse.
And you didn't feel that bad when we were popping the previous ones? What?
No, I don't feel bad about this at all. I'm just sad that Zodd passed out, so he won't know about his achievement.
Okay.
Amrit just like sits down in the snow, kind of puts his hands on his head, and just kind of like sits there, quiet.
Aw.
I love how everyone's just ignoring the fact that Zodd's face down in the
It kind of like turns Zodd's head so he doesn't like suffocate in the snow.
Well, his nose is like sticking out of the snow though.
Exactly.
Like
But
he's just
you also
laying
don't
face
wanna
down
be
and his
like
nose is just like straight up sticking up.
You can actually die from positional asphyxiation, so she wants to make sure that he's not
Yeah.
in a position where his own muscles will suffocate him.
Aw. How nice.
But he
Well,
did just
a
save their
dead
lives.
gator is no use to her.
And I
Fair
got a
enough.
feeling if we were anywhere besides the base of the mountain, we would probably been caught in that blast. So, I'm perfectly okay with spending the 20-some mana I just burned.
Okay. Nisra kind of pulls again out of her pouch like one of the little candies that she had given you before.
Oh, okay.
Here, have a candy.
It's supposed to help with nerves.
Okay. Sure. Ha, take it.
Yay, because she has medical kit instead of actual medical spells.
You're not entirely sure, Amrit, but you think you may detect just a hint of moon sugar in the candy.
Oh, good.
I never said I didn't use it. I was gonna say she's been around long enough to come up with like some basic remedies to treat really simple issues.
Yeah,
And
PTSD is totally just a simple issue. Just keep him doped up. He'll be fine.
It's like, here, this treats vertigo and this one treats insomnia. This one will knock you the fuck out and you won't dream anything because you'll be just straight up unconscious.
Is there anything that can treat my emotional scars?
Alcohol.
I got that done.
No, so she gives the thing to Amrit and then she kind of checks on Zodd a little bit. Yeah, she'll try to like use the smelling salts to wake him back up.
Yeah, he wakes up.
Yeah.
You wake up, Zodd.
Everything feels like I just decided to try to squeeze every last bit of soul out of my body.
I feel ya.
She gives you a candy.
Zodd actually just crunches down on that. Like he doesn't. He chooses candy.
Like,
He will look at Pierre and just like, Pierre, I'm tired.
oh.
Just
Pierre-
perhaps we should return to our lodgings.
I don't know if I can actually stand up right now. My legs, I can kind of. He moves a hand, like kind of looking at it like it's not his hand. Everything is kind of numb.
Pierre.
I've not burned that much magicka and moved that far in a very, very long time.
Pierre
Would
kind of
you
scuttles
like
up.
someone to-
Pierre scuttles up, and he's trying to use his claws to kind of like lift you and push you. Not very successfully, but he's trying.
Oh. Do you need someone to carry you?
No, just need help getting up. Pierre, thank you. Julinak, can give me a lift.
Julinak helps him up.
You see Zodd standing there and kind of doing, the drunk man sway where you just rock on the balls of your feet back and forth, like You're not sure if you're about to fall on your ass or just be able to walk a straight line. Yeah, that's Dodd right now. All right.
And then a guard come up and say have you been drinking tonight?
Blow on this.
Walking to a straight line, please.
It's called magical exhaustion, you ass.
Amrit,
Yes.
one benefit of your time in the military is you have seen people suffer from magica exertion like this before. And you know that at this current moment in time, the thing Zodd needs most in order to kind of replenish and regain his strength is some sort of fruity beverage or fruit heavy food.
Do we have any
Fruit juice. Give him a Capri Sun.
Does wine count?
Depending on the wine, yes.
You need Zodd. You need fruit.
Nisra probably has more of a fruit-based diet when aside from blood, so she'll give him some food.
She'd also know that pumpkin qualifies as a fruit.
Ooh,
Yes.
Eat that pumpkin.
Eat that damn pumpkin.
Eat the pumpkin.
He looks at the half of the tree. Yeah, you mean this? Like,
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
Okay. That just kind of like shoved it into his face.
You're able to regain. You're able to regain a little bit of strength to be able to walk easier.
Yeah. Did you at least manage to keep a trophy from this?
He waves his little Dwemer knife.
Nisra gives you a couple pieces of whatever the Elder Scrolls equivalent of dried mango slices is.
Probably dried mango slices.
Oh, okay.
Dried mango slices.
You just see him do the atypical crocodile thing is he just starts lining the inside of his mouth with it and then just shuts his mouth slowly like.
Oh man.
All right. So it's still nighttime. You're not sure if you guys had been in there a full day or if you'd been in there for a few hours. It does look like that. It does look like the blizzard that had hit earlier has long since passed. But it's an easy matter following the markers along the side of the road to get back to Orsinium. In Orsinium, there's a bit of a commotion as people are staring at the mountain that had collapsed on itself, trying to figure out what had happened, what it could possibly mean. And Nashak saunters up to you guys, kind of limping a little bit on his little walking stick. And he says, Where have you guys been?
Things kind of happened.
Dodd gives him that dead crocodile stare. You know, the one that looks like I will eat your soul kind of look.
Oh, he ignores it. He ignores it. He's stolen from plenty of.
Before he points at the now topless mountain.
Let's not say that was us. Can we not?
No. He's not saying that. We're near that. We were looking for spiders. Why they were looking for spiders, I don't know. And then another piece of dry mango just goes into his mouth as he angrily chews on it.
Like, fuck, man.
That's pretty much what he says. He just looks over at you, Julinak. Well, fuck, man. I'm glad you got out okay.
Do I need to roll a deception for that?
No, we were in fact going in there originally to look for spiders.
On the bright side, you guys did succeed in the quest to obtain Dwemer needles.
Yeah.
And Dwemer control rod, so the next Dwemer relic we go into, we can just take over the fucking minions.
Yeah, let's not go into another Dwemer ruin.
Hamreed's good on that. He's like, yep, experience I do not ever want to have again.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
this
go
is our
with that one.
scrolls. We're eventually get dragged into another one because by the fucking cultist.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
it's still nighttime.
Yes.
So I assume those who need to sleep, so the other three in the group, will want to sleep.
Yeah. And Nashok, of course, like his home's open to you guys.
Yeah. So she'll follow him back to the house and make sure that everybody is bedded down for the night.
I don't want to go to sleep yet.
Um,
Well, you gotta.
I have something to do.
Too bad. You gotta sleep.
You can do it in the morning.
No, this is
God
pressing.
damn it.
what could be so pressing that you'd risk your own mental health
I will
further?
be fine.
Okay.
You guys can go ahead and sleep. I'll be fine. It won't be long.
No.
Nestor's like, well, seeing as I haven't slept in a very long time, perhaps I can accompany you.
Okay.
Zodd just lays down on his stomach. Goes
He's
straight at
just
the
out.
board. And no, like
Just
Zodd just
out.
lays down on his stomach, goes straight at the board. You see his eyes roll back, so they're just white
Oh
orbs.
God.
And his mouth is slightly open. He is going still, and he looks almost like a rug since he's not moving. And you just barely see the raising and falling of his back from where he's breathing. He still has Pierre on his head though. Pierre is firmly
Once-
Chilling on there.
Once Zodd finally goes to sleep, Pierre disappears.
Aww.
He has his own
Aw.
shit to do.
Sure, and Pierre's got one hell of a story to tell his actual owner. Wife, kids.
All 300 kids.
All 300 kids.
Okay. So-
Write a passage to Survivor Dwimmer Druid.
Julinak, what would you like to do before you retire for the night?
What would I like to do? What can I do? So, Amrit's not going to sleep.
Yeah.
Nistra, are you asleep right now?
She doesn't sleep.
See what they even have, or none of the shops are probably open right now, are they?
Besides
No,
everyone
it's
freaking out from the boom.
Okay,
It's
yeah, the boom. I guess Julia tried to like chill out for a bit, just fix a drink, offer if anyone else would like some.
Nashok happily obliges. He's sharing a drink with you, and I'm assuming you're telling him what happened down there.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, this happened. Explosions.
That's quite the story. I think that tops all of our heist stories of the past, man. That's really something.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely don't, though I can't say like I happened.
He looks over at you and says, if Rory were here, he'd be as jealous as you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh wait, Rory's like that guy that got killed.
Yeah, he was your friend in the third part of your little trio of thieving buddies who ended up getting killed back in Davin's Watch.
Yes. Alright, well, Julinak actually comes out to him about that. He was just like, you haven't heard about that?
No, last I heard, Rory was headed out to Davin's Watch. Apparently he'd managed to land a spot in the Thieves Guild.
Yeah. Rory died a while back.
Well, what happened?
It was like, what was it that happened? I couldn't remember.
He tried to steal hist sap from a hist tree, and all of the Argonians in the area were ordered by the hist to kill him.
Yeah, that.
He got
Yes.
murdered.
And there's a sleeping Argonian literally right in the room.
He sinks
God.
he sinks back into his chair. It seems like like his shoulders are weighing heavy with age.
I'm sorry,
Takes
buddy.
a long draw of whiskey and just says, "Well, fuck. I always knew he'd be stupid enough to get himself into a heist he couldn't get back out of, but I just thought he'd land in jail again. I didn't think he'd kick the bucket like that."
Neither have I, man. Neither have I.
He
Yeah.
He pours another glass and lifts it up in a toast. He says, "For Rory."
To Rory. Tip. I never
Nisra,
dug it out.
Nisra and Amrit, what
Yeah.
are you two up to?
I wanted to see if I could find Jasabra.
Oh, our mutual.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that was in character.
No, it's not in character.
Oh. So, are you searching for him at the Mages Guild, or?
Yeah, probably the first place I look.
And Nisra, are you accompanying him, or are you attending to your own business?
Yeah. She's
Okay.
accompanying.
Okay.
She doesn't necessarily know if he's mentally stable enough to be left on his own.
Fine.
Are any
Yeah.
of us?
PTSD
When-
flashbacks you've had.
When you get to the guild, you enter, they check your papers, and you're let in with no problem. In your case, for the first time in what, 30 years?
Yeah, it's been a while.
And when you talk to the guy in charge of guild matters, he kind of looks at you quizzically. He's like, You've been out for some time, it seems. If you don't know about Jasabra, he took a leave of absence. Maybe a day or two ago. He's headed to Valenwood to attend to guild matters.
Okay.
Mhm.
Do I know where the nearest career person would be?
Sure. There's a courier posted at the guild. Letters come in
Okay.
and out all the time, after all.
Perfect. I go up to them
Okay.
and I quickly, on some random scrap of paper that's blank, write a little message to Jasabra that I need to speak with urgently. And I fold it up and I give it to the courier.
He nods. He says, "I'll see that it gets to him safely," and he goes running out of the Mages Guild because couriers don't walk in Elder Scrolls. They
only
they only
They don't
run.
walk, they just teleport.
They only run. They don't ride mounts, and somehow they always find the person they need to deliver the letter to.
They have stats on everyone.
No, they teleport over to the location and then they just run.
Like I said, all couriers have a permanent status effect upon them. The second you give them a letter with someone's actual name on it, it instantly points in that direction and tells them the status of the person.
You're in the middle of a Dwemer dungeon raid, some random teenage punk pops up, says, "You got a letter," and then disappears.
That's happened to me in Skyrim.
It's more along the lines of, Hey, I've got a letter for you. Your eyes only. Well, looks like that's it. Gotta go.
Sign here.
They didn't even bother with that. They hand you the letter and then run off.
Here you go.
Sometimes they don't even run off. They just stand there.
Yeah.
Then you turn back around and they're
Well,
gone.
gotta go and just stand there.
Was there something I needed to look up? Mages Guild. Oh, I wanted to use the enchanting table and like look at books because I'm a nerd and I want to see what's going on.
Okay. What runes are you using with the enchanting table?
Do I know what they do?
You have a general idea since you recognize the names of all the runes.
Okay. I don't know what they do.
Does Nisra know what they do?
Same case, but you guys are easily able to create at least one rune. By combining Jorah, Kuoko, and Kuta. And you end up creating a rune. You end up creating a rune of poison enchantment.
Wait, Jorah, Kyoko, and Kuta?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Those are my favorite anime characters.
So you end up creating a glyph that end up creating a trifling glyph of poison.
Trifling poison. Okay. Cool. Cool beans.
And that expends the runes, of course.
Beans.
So yeah, you can apply that to a weapon of some kind. Yeah.
Okay. Do they have here anything that would help me translate Dwemer?
Yeah, it would take a little while, but you're sure with enough time you might be able to at least decipher the notes and stuff you have.
Okay. I would like to do that.
Okay. So, Nisra, anything you'd like to do while at the Mages Guild?
She wants to see if she can find out who all had been sent into the Dwemer ruins from the guild.
Okay. So as you walk up to one of the clerks, he looks up. He says, "Ah, Loris, I wasn't expecting to see you today."
And she kind of, Loris?
That is your name, is it not?
I was assuming that Nisra is the name she's been using here. That Nisra is not her actual name. But yeah, we'll go with Loris.
He says, "Well, what can I help with you today?"
In my recent travels, I noticed a few members of the guild were up in the mountain. Seeing as it has collapsed, I was hoping you could inform me of who they might be, and that way we can properly notify their next of kin of their likely demise.
Well, the guild headmaster is already working on that. But if you'd like a copy of the crew manifest, I can provide one for you.
That would be kind, thank you.
And after a bit of shuffling through papers, he finds one, and then on a separate clear sheet of paper, he copies it over and then hands you the copy.
Okay.
He says, "Up in the mountains, you weren't up there, were you?"
I was near the area.
Oh. Heard that there were a few avalanches that blocked some roads. I'm glad you were able to pass. I'm glad you were able to get through before the roads got blocked up.
Yes, it is quite fortunate. Seems the fates are on our side.
He nods. He says, "Well, I have a bit of work to attend to. You have a good evening, Loris."
Mm-hmm. She nods and takes the list with her and finds wherever it is that Amrit is stowed away.
Okay.
Henry's at home. He's in a pile of books.
In the Mage's Guild. She thought he would never be able to step foot in again.
He's home.
So,
yeah.
Zodd and Julinak, when you guys wake up in the morning, Nisra and Amrit are still nowhere to be seen.
Okay, good.
Anyone touch Zodd's tongue at any point in the night?
What's that?
Did anyone touch Zodd's tongue at any point during the night?
Oh my god. That's our next mission. Touch his tongue.
Stroke of the tongue.
No, they have not.
Okay.
Do you summon Pierre back?
Well, I figured after the excitement of yesterday, Pierre probably wouldn't enjoy being just walking around town. And he's probably getting read the riot act from the young woman and the old man that he kept showing him in visions.
I mean, it doesn't really drain him at all when you summon him, so...
I know, but he was still in danger, and if he dies on my end, I think he dies on their end, too.
Okay, so...
Also, did I get... when we rest fully, since this is the first full rest we've done, do you get back full magicka, or is it half?
All of your magicka, all of your health.
Sweet.
In fact, you guys spend maybe another week here in Orsinium, just kind of resting up and figuring out your next course of action.
Zodd does have something he wants to do. You said there's a mage guild here, right?
Yeah.
Is there outposts for any of the other guilds?
There's always some sort of branch of the Thieves Guild in every town. That's one of those things that's common knowledge but kept hush-hush.
Yeah, no, Zodd's going to the branch of the Thieves Guild.
Okay, are you taking Julinak with you, or Nashak, or are you just going on your own?
He might take Nashak, because apparently Julinak trusts him enough to tell Nashak everything. So, if Nashak wants to come with, and if Julinak wants to come with you, bring them.
So, does Julinak want to accompany, or is it just going to be Nashak and Zodd?
Nashak and Zodd can go along. I am just going to go to the Mage Guild, check up on the two, and probably read some books over there.
Okay. Zodd. Nashak kind of takes you through the city streets and eventually to a grate leading into the sewers. And you see on the grate there's a shadow mark, a small symbol etched into the grate, leading to the local thieves' den.
All right.
And sure enough, when you what's that?
It's not passive, but I'm glad that it's not based on passive perception.
Well, because you've got Nashak as a guide here, so
yeah.
The thieves' den there, like it's still very busy. You can tell that a lot goes on down here on a daily basis, and it's the portion of the city that truly never sleeps. What would you like to do down here?
Is there a clear weapon merchant?
There is a fence, who he's selling all sorts of illicit wares, including weapons. There's also a Thieves Guild provisioner, but when you attempt to ask him to see his wares, he denies you access, saying that you need to be a member of the Thieves Guild in order to buy anything from him.
Well, that is one of the plans I had for this. So, First, he's going to mention that he might have something special for some of the more long-range based thieves, and then drop a casual hint about him wanting to join the Thieves Guild because they fit within his skill set.
Well, I cannot sell you anything quite yet, but if you're looking to join the Thieves Guild, I think I may know a connection or two.
Well, I was thinking more of selling them something because personally it might be better than what I have, but it's a little bit too flashy for my taste. He kind of pulls out the heavy Dwemer crossbow, the thing that looks like a fucking brick of metal and just danger.
His eyes widen and just goes, "Great Nocturnal. How'd you get your hands on that?"
I have made friends with a crab that likes to get inside Certarian brain.
Alright. Tall tales. I understand. Keep your secret. It just sounds so bizarre that he's assuming it's a tall tale.
Face is so serious at the moment. It's like I made friends with a crab. the thing learned how to pilot a Certarian by eating into its brain.
He says, "Well, if you're gonna be here for a while yet, perhaps I can send word to the guild and see if they can send a representative."
Be here about a week. The avalanche and a few other things have kind of interrupted the travel plans.
Right, well, come back in about 3-4 days, and I'll see what I can do.
All right. Zodd will just pouch his heavy Dwemer crossbow. Since the man didn't make an offer, he just reacted like, "Holy shit!" to it. And then he's gonna look at God damn it, I keep wanting to do it. Nazarok.
Nashak?
Nashak. I'm like,
Mhm.
well, my business here is done since I'm fairly sure I'll get a better price from a member. You got anywhere you want to walk around? Because, like on majors, they always act so uppity. So uppity when they find out, oh, you can only do shadow stuff. Fucking assholes.
He kind of chuckles and then gestures to his bad leg. He's like, "I think I've done about as much walking for today as I'm gonna be able to handle. I'm probably just gonna head back to the shop and keep business going, as it were."
Right. Well, I'm gonna go looking for something else. I have a funny feeling that my skill set falls fairly within their realm of specialties as well.
Well, fair enough. I guess I'll see you tonight back at the place.
No one shanks me or stabs me in the spine.
He looks at you curiously and says, "Right.
What?
I'm just gonna get going now."
All right. Have fun. Don't get stabbed. Now for those cultists, they're everywhere.
They're everywhere. You can never start saying one.
You're just standing in the middle of the thieves' den. The shock's walking off, and you just keep going on. "Don't get stabbed. Watch out for cultists. They're everywhere."
Then I looked around like, what?
Everybody just goes back to their business.
Oh, I guess I'm the only person who thinks a good knifing is a good way to solve things. Bud just walks casually out of the sewers. He's feeling a lot better than he was last night. Everything's rolling Zodd right now. Nothing's exploding. There's nothing trying to eat his hand. Pierre is probably siring another 300 children with his new vigor.
Well, speaking of Pierre, in a couple of days, you summon him back. Either out of need for companionship because everybody else is attending to their own business, or
I didn't know Zodd would summon him again just to have someone, just to have a buddy to talk to and hang out with.
Yeah.
You
guys-
Pierre got better. Pierre got better passive possession, so he would help him find the Assassin's Guild one way or another.
When Pierre comes back, you guys are all in the same room. You guys are either, your choice, breakfast or dinner.
Dinner, because Zodd doesn't normally eat breakfast.
Okay. So you guys are munching on dinner, and Zodd kind of works this little ritual, and you guys see the mist form in the room, and
Sweet old Pierre.
it coalesces into 2 shapes instead of 1.
What?
And before you is standing not only Pierre, but also a young woman
What?
with violet eyes and brown hair and kind of ashy looking skin.
Look at his ritual, like, the fuck?
And she looks over and sees Amrit and Julinak, and she says, "Oh, well, I was wondering where Pierre went, and I guess it makes sense that he'd want to spend time with Mom's friends." And that's where we'll leave off for today.
Oh my god.
She completely ignores the Argonian.
He doesn't know you.
For those of you
Never knew I could summon a person with this, but
For those of you who are watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're interested in playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons set in the Elder Scrolls universe, in the description I will include a link to the website where you can download the unofficial Elder Scrolls tabletop role-playing game and possibly leave a donation for the creators, who are